All right, this is chanceofgaming.com, and we're going to take a look at Routine. Routine is a upcoming survival horror game from Lunar Studios, and I am very excited about it. I didn't see anything on YouTube kind of breaking down the materials that have been released on this project so far, so I decided to take it upon myself to take a look at it. So here we go. Let's take a look at the first teaser trailer that they released. This is the first thing that kind of drew me into the game, and let's discuss it. I love the boot up that looks just kind of like old, and it looks like it's playing from a tape thing. The first thing you see is we're kind of panning back from a shot here of a poor sap that got shot, and oh, he dropped his floppy disk, and there's lots of other bullets. As it pans over, we'll see a couple things that we'll talk about here in a minute. You see the gun device that will be used later on in the game for it's going to play a big important part, and then you see yourself as this protagonist. As it goes through, it flashes up various different things, environments, and it just looked really, really cool. And I really dug it. One thing I really dug was the retro futurism of it all, and absolutely it is not coming out in 2013. It did not happen. So I want to take a look at a couple of things in the actual trailer itself. The first thing I wanted to take a look at was its use of floppy disk. As you see, the guy getting shot drops his floppy. Perhaps he was trying to copy the floppy, because you're not supposed to. And I just really dig that. This game is supposedly based on it's retrofuturism. It's this idea of what the world of 2000 was supposed to look like in the 80s. So this is this moon base coming from the 80s. So we've got, 3.5-inch floppy disks that we still use. The other thing I wanted to look at was the actual gun that you can see on the floor next to another floppy disk. This is called the CAT, the CAT. It has a 3.5-inch floppy drive on the top. It has a battery in it, and that's supposed to be a key point of gameplay. And we'll get more into that later. The other thing is you see yourself, the protagonist, or at least an example of a protagonist. This is pretty much what you look like. It's a pretty nice, streamlined suit that you've got going on. And this guy here is wounded. And of course, this is a teaser trailer, which means none of this can be in there. It doesn't have to be. The other things I wanted to look at, there are two scenes in here of what you're actually fighting against, the antagonist. The first is a clip of you looking through your cat, and you see a robot. Yes, robots, the AI, the benders have gone awry in this game, and they're after you. You get a clear shot of one walking into a room. Of course, it could be a nice, friendly little robot, but I doubt it. But you can see him right there in the shot from the first teaser trailer. Now, going on into the second teaser trailer, one of the things I really dig about this in both trailers, if you look at the beginning of the actual trailer itself, you can see it says play up in the top left corner, and it's on slow play SP. For those of us that are old enough to have fooled around with VCRs, it's just a neat little touch that adds that whole retrofuturism. Not to mention the stinger of the logo that comes up. The ding ding ding. It reminds me a lot of booting up the original PlayStation. So let's take a look at the second teaser trailer that came out, and I'll kind of talk through it. So you get the logo again. Like I said, it's really cool. Reminds me of the first PlayStation. Now this is the one where you see actual alpha gameplay. You're apparently on some tram, which is kind of a sci-fi trope, and you see a couple of CRT monitors here and about, which is, that's kind of a thing, and you've got a bulletin board here. You've seen that in other games. You walk through, you can hear the announcer booming out over it, and oh, there's a nice little friendly robot guy walking by. Also a CRT monitor. This is retrofuturism. I love how things go bad and then they go to bars and tone. Oh, that's your cat right there. Taking a look at different things around. There's an escalator. Oh, it's not an escalator, just stairs. Lunar transits that way. We're going to walk up here, take a look at around, see what's going on. And as we come up here, you can really see how you interact with the environment with this cat. You come up to the various monitors, and up, I guess through a wireless system, you can access audio logs, key codes, maps, emails, stuff like that. And I'm assuming you're going to only be able to take a limited amount, is what it seems like to me, because a 3.5-inch floppy disk doesn't hold a lot of info, especially not an audio log. You're not going to be able to get much there. But apparently what you've got here is a key code, and you open up the door, and you go through, and hey, there's a vending machine. There's other terminals for you to access. There's nice plants and spooky lights flickering on and off. That's a nice little trope. So you can peek around corners. Now, one thing about this game, this is a roguelike game where death is supposed to be permanent. Now see, we're checking here, public data files, and it tells us about Viking 2. We'll need to take a look at that, I guess. That's important. This is a randomly generated world every time. Now, I do like the downloading speed. That's pretty realistic. Now, this randomly generated world and a permadeath roguelike type game is really neat. I mean, I'm sure other stuff have done it, but I can't think of anything offhand, especially not sci-fi horror like this. And the whole idea behind this particular game is AI's gone amok. Oh, we just saw one. Better run. There was a little robot guy walking by. Now our cat, our little access thing. Oh, there goes another one. Better run. Yeah, we see him. Bam! Shoot him. Oh, he's dead. But in this game, the sound of your shot can draw attention to other things in the area. So we're kind of going to run. Oh, and we've jumped to some other part of the alpha. Now this is the one you can see. This looks like blood and a mess. You know, something bad has happened here. There's a floppy that you're not supposed to copy. You come down here into water, which, it's kind of a sci-fi trope. But, I mean, I wouldn't imagine that there would be a lot of water on a moon base, especially this much that is just spilled out, because wouldn't they recycle it? Oh, let's look for bad guys. No, we don't see anything. Okay, let's go by. So we're continuing to look around. This is kind of Dead Space, Bioshock-esque going on stuff. Very Bioshock to me. And we're worried that the little guy's coming. So, oh, we're going to make it out. And, oh no! Something got us. But the weird thing is that something sounded very organic to me. And once again, this is not 2013. This game has not been released in 2013. And it's not looking good for 2014 either. You know, but yeah, I just wanted to take a look at this game and kind of talk about it because I didn't see anybody else really doing it, so I was just going to toss it up and maybe generate some discussion. So feel free to questions, comments, and maybe we can get a little discussion from the developers and get some more information about this great game. Thank you for your time.